Oh, hi there, welcome back to another video. There are not many people in this world that I cannot stand, and James Corden is one of the biggest pricks out there. And when you see him live on TV, you think he's this happy person, but in general, he is a fucking knobhead, and I fucking hate him. I generally do. I think he has no talent whatsoever, and I feel like he got lucky because he played a role, Smithy.
No, I'm had enough of it. It was the same last week. I went for a Chinese with Chinese's missus. They're all dipping into mine going, oh, yours is really nice. I'm like, yes, it is. That's why I ordered it. In fact, forget it. I want no part of it. I'll order my own. I'll eat it in the car. I'm out.
I think it is in Gavin and Stacey. If you don't know what Gavin and Stacey is basically, it was a really popular hit, and James Corden basically just he did this role where he was a lovable friend and everybody loved him, and I just absolutely hate this guy. I think he's a massive fucking bellend, and when you hear all these sorts of stuff that he's done, you just know it's him. So stuff in the past where he has shouted at people, he wouldn't pay people due to the writer's room and stuff like that, and that was a big massive thing. If things aren't his way, he goes into this meltdown. So I was looking at the Sky Report. I wanted to talk about this a while ago, but unfortunately I couldn't due to work. But it says James Corden says he hasn't done anything wrong after he's so zen after he claims he abused restaurant staff. I just fucking hate him. So what happened was he basically went into this restaurant and he abused all these members, or he abused certain members of staff and shouted at them and stuff like that. And then now he's like, I haven't done anything wrong. And no one likes James Corden. He's finished the Late Late Show. No one wants to have him back in the UK because he would just be a massive fucking bellend. So James Corden says he hasn't done anything wrong on any level and is so zen after a restaurant owner called him the most abusive customer his business has served in 25 years. Keith McNally, owner of the Bazaar, I said that wrong, in New York, banned Corden from the restaurant earlier this week and said the Late Show host was a tiny cretin of a man who had abused staff during 2 visits. The first time in June, the British actor and comedian is said to have been extremely nasty and demanded all his drinks were paid for after finding a hair in his food, despite apologies from the manager. Now, I've worked in this sort of retail, in this sort of industry before, and finding hair and stuff like that is never nice. So normally what would happen is you find a hair, you would then go, right, we're going to replace this straight away. But from what all of this is, I think he ate the food first and then was like, oh, I found a hair, and it's like, oh, I want all my drinks paid for, chop type thing. And it doesn't really work, because then you know what will happen. Corden will be like, I want 18 bottles of the finest champagne, red wine, white wine, beer, and I want this all paid for by you guys.
You're right.
And that's it. And it's just thing. And he also went on about the whole thing about with Yelp, he'd leave a bad review. If I saw a review by James Corden, I would be like... who would give a fucking flying shit about it? On another visit earlier this month, Corden allegedly began yelling like crazy to the server after finding a little bit of egg white in his wife's yolk omelette. McNally detailed his claims on Instagram on Monday, but in a later post said on the same day Corden had called him and apologized. Now, when I was looking into this story, I found more stuff from these posts and stuff like that, which we're going to look at. So this is the main one. I think is now being edited. But James Corden is a highly gifted comedian, but a tiny cretin of a man. The most abusive customer in my Balthazar service since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. I don't often 86 a customer today. I 86 Corden. It did not make me laugh. Here are 2 examples of the funny man's treatment to my staff. Manager's Report 1. In June, James Corden was on table 61. Although this is diabolical, it happens very occasional in all restaurants. After eating his main course, Corden showed the hair to Balthazar manager G, who was very apologetic. Cordon was extremely nasty to G and said, "Get us another round of drinks this second, and also take care of all our drinks so far. This way I write any nasty reviews in Yelp or anything like that." Manager report 2. James Corden was at Balthazar with his wife on October 9th for brunch. He asked for a table outside. Branch maitre d', Ali Walters, I think I said that right, took the party to table 301. Mr. Corden's wife ordered the egg yolk omelette with grenadine cheese and salad. A few minutes later, after they received the food, James called the server MK and told her there was a little bit of egg white mixed in with the egg yolk. MK informed the floor manager, G. The kitchen remade the dish, but unfortunately set it with home fries instead of salad. Then when James Corden began yelling like crazy to the server, "You can't do your job! You can't do your job! Maybe I should go to the kitchen and cook my omelette myself." MK was very apologetic and brought G over to the table. He returned the dish, and after that, everything was fine. He gave them a promo champagne glasses to smooth things out. G said that Corden was pleasant to him, but nasty to the server. MK was really shaken, but professional that she is, she continued to finish her shift. Corden has now spoke out about the controversy for the first time in the New York Times interview and planned before the claims had surfaced. Now, before we carry on, I want to kind of give my kind of thoughts on this. To me, and in general, I think that you should never shout at someone. You then basically just say, "Hey, I found some white egg yolk. White egg and yolk thing. God damn it. So, is it possible?" And they go, "Yeah, no problem." And then get it sorted straight away. Not shout at someone and be like, "Fuck you," or like, crazy. Because that makes, if that was me, I'd have just gone, "James, get the fuck out," and then just said, or in the polite way, "Please leave because I don't want you here." I fucking hate James Corden. I think he's just a piece of shit. On suggestion, he could have pulled the interview. I haven't done anything wrong on any level, so why would I ever cancel this? I was there. I get it.
I have done nothing wrong ever in my life.
Gordon 44, shit, man, you're old enough to know better. So, said he feels so zen about the whole thing and called it so silly, but admitted he might address it on air. Would you? Who gives a shit? You just turn around and be a joke. Just let this die. Just right here, it says James Corden just called me and apologized profusely. Having fucked up myself more than most people, I strongly believe in second chances. So if James Corden lets me host his late night show for 9 months, I'll immediately rescind his ban from Balthazar. No, of course not. But anyone? Managelius, I have no idea enough to apologize to the deadbeat layout like me, and my staff doesn't deserve to be banned from anywhere, especially Balthazar. So come back to the five and dime Jimmy Corden, all is forgiven. And I thought, oh, okay. So when I was looking at this story, I saw this over at the New York Times. It says, at Thursday breakfast, Corden did not give his own account of what happened in these incidences or discuss what he had apologized. At first, he parried any decision of McNally's posts or reaction to them and asked if he was feeling all right. Corden cagily said, "About what? What do you mean?" When asked directly if he was aware of the conversation about him that McNally post, Corden said, "I haven't really read anything. It's strange. It's strange when you were there. I think I'm probably going to have to talk about it on Monday's show. My feeling often is never explain, never complain, but I'll probably have to talk about it." Why the fuck do you have to talk about it, James? Just fucking don't. It seems to be sorted to some degree. He added, as he'd said several times in the conversation, that it feels like such a silly thing to talk about. Corden said that any online criticism of him is likely reflected on his awareness and opinions of small parts of an overpopulation.
Oh no! Anyway,
should we not have been a little grown up about this? I promise you, ask around the restaurant. They don't know about this. Maybe 15% of people. I've been here, been walking around New York. Not one person's come up to me. We're dealing in two worlds here.
Oh no! Anyway.
He added, if I lived on Twitter, Hillary Clinton is the president of the United States and Jeremy Corbyn won by a landslide. What the fuck? Fuck. While Cordon said that he was not denying anyone's right to criticize him online, he compared the news media amplification of this negative social media post to a school principal offering aid to classroom bullies. The principal makes the decision to stand up and say, "I'd like all of those bullies to come up on stage and say into the microphone what they just been saying in the hallway over there."
What? What the fuck?
At the breakfast conclusion, Cordon offered a cordial goodbye and left the restaurant. The waiter who had served him said she was only vaguely aware of who he was. "I know he's famous," he said. "I think he's British." What the fuck? It's just like, his fucking comments are just absolutely fucking shit. And you just kind of think that it's like, oh, well, they don't affect me. And it's just like, fuck you type thing. And I'm just like, oh, just fuck off, James. So this was the next part. Storm in a teacup. Storm in a restaurant teacup. I've no wish to kick a man when he's down, especially one who's worth 100 million. But when James Corden said in yesterday's New York Times that he hadn't done anything wrong on any level, was he joking, or was he denying being abusive to my servers? Whatever Corden meant, his implication was clear. He didn't do it. Although I didn't witness the incident, lots of my restaurant's floor staff did. They had nothing to gain by lying. Corden did. I wish James Corden would live up to his almighty initials and come clean. If the supremely talented actor wants to retrieve the respect he had for his fans, all four of them, before this incident, then he should at least admit he did wrong. If he goes one step further and apologizes to the two servers he insulted, I'll let him eat free at Balthazar for the next 10 years. So let me get this straight, James. Like, you literally want to deny all of this because you think it's like, you know, nothing happened. Yet you could easily turn around and go, shit, my bad. I didn't mean it. You know, I'm really, really sorry. You know, let's, you know, hope you can forgive me, rather than doubling down going, I didn't do anything, fuck this. Like, it's you're all childish, and you know, you're all childish and stuff like that. Can you imagine if someone recorded him on a phone or something and posted this up online and showed him doing this? What would James go like? Oh, that wasn't me, I didn't mean it. Like, it's stuff like this that really fucking pisses me off. And if I was in that restaurant working there, or even if I was a customer, and all of a sudden James kicked off, I think I would have just told him to sit the fuck down, because no one fucking likes him. I fucking hate James Corden. I think he is a horrible person when you see and research into all the stuff that he's done. I just can't stand him. And he wants to give this like whole thing of him being a happy person, like he's your best mate. He's like Smithy, right? And from Gavin and Stacey, and he's like this and he's like that. Yet what's happened is he was this, you know, he started off acting, he then got a bit of fame from it, then people loved him, and then he, you know, he did his main thing, and then he got to present a late night show, and now thinks he's like the top dog, when yet no one likes him. I fucking hate James Corden. I think he's a massive prick, and yeah, I think he just needs to fucking learn some respect for people. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you later.